This is gonna be a hot take. Discipline isn't enough, but there's something that drives you even more. Motivation. Motivation is the first step, and motivation is the base of the pyramid. It's what actually helps you level up in life and actually enjoy the process. And discipline, well, we have beef. Like, discipline has always made me hate what I do, and I do truly, in my heart of hearts, believe that that is the reason why so many of us struggle with being consistent. And I'm gonna go out and say it because I have major beef with discipline. I don't hate it, I just hate what it stands for. That's the picture of success that is painted for us, right? And you and I can probably recite it right off the bat. Wake up early, go to the gym, eat a plate of berries, work, start a new diet, eat a plate of supplements because the brand sponsors you. Because this is TikTok, and TikTok is fake AF. Honestly, they're lying to you about success. You knew this, who am I kidding? Yeah, well, the macho influencers call this discipline. It's just forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do, and that's incredibly damaging. Adia, that's kind of the definition of self-discipline. Yeah, well, I know, but isn't that honestly kind of toxic? Let's call discipline and motivation your fuel sources, okay? Because that's what they do, they fuel you. And the way I see it, those fuel sources are like an iceberg. Discipline, it's the tip. It's only the 10% that you see on the outside and on the top. Only the 10% that you see someone doing. I mean, you can't just look into their head and read their thoughts and find out the source of their motivation. You can't do that. The only thing that you see on the outside is the discipline that they might have because they do some habits, apparently. And when you get it from social media, where discipline and hustle culture are revered like the holy grail, and you want those results that the influencers have, only 10% of their fuel is all you get. Without motivation, discipline is useless. And it's literally just part of the equation. Yeah, because what happens when you can't stick to discipline like some YouTuber told you? Bro, I'm failing. I just can't stick to this. I don't have the motivation anymore. Am I good enough? Do I have what it takes? You start to doubt yourself. We can't just go off of 10% of our potential fuel. That's why raw dogging self-discipline is so hard. And that's why people fail. And when you fail, it's only natural that you start doubting yourself, okay? I mean, that's called a portfolio of proof. You have all these events in your life and you tuck them away into a little file in your mind. And when you feel like all those events, all those efforts you quote unquote failed, which is ridiculous because it's not even your fault, you start to feel that it's encoded in who you are, and that's how it's always going to be in the future, which is a lie, obviously. If you don't have enough resources to succeed, aka you only have the 10%, it's like not giving crutches to someone with a broken leg. It's not your fault if you fall. Now, don't get me wrong, discipline is necessary. You do need 100% of your fuel and of those iceberg to succeed at your ultimate potential, which is motivation and self-discipline alike. Okay, so let's talk about motivation, because motivation literally gives you a place to start. It's the base of the iceberg and it's the base of the pyramid, and if you remove it, that's why it's literally more important than self-discipline. It sets you off on your journey. Without motivation, there is no discipline, and there's no growth, and there's no benefit for you. Okay, but let's back this up, let's clear it up, because there are a few different types of motivation, and there is a clear winner. Extrinsic motivation is literally the weakest thing. It's when you attach your value and your motivation to an external source. Like, I want to go to the Olympics because my parents told me to. I want to get better grades than Susie. Because when things get tough and you realize studying is actually hard, my gymnastic skills actually suck, that external force isn't enough to keep you going. And if anything, it only makes it easier for you to quit. Same thing when you attach your value to an aesthetic. Now, intrinsic motivation, that is my sweetheart. That's when you say, I want to train in the gym to feel better in my own body. I want to get good grades because I want to push the limits of my knowledge. And when it gets tough, intrinsic motivation just challenges your desire to quit. It makes it all that harder because now your values and your goals are embedded in your personality and you're not willing to let those go. That's why intrinsic motivation and motivation in general is just so much better. That's the kind of motivation that you need to go for. Let's move on. Motivation is just more important. I don't know, I think the thing is that motivation is just so much more important on your journey. But why would that be? Wait, there's a reason why you do things, right? Could it be motivation? Wow. See, I'm gonna put it simply, discipline is what gets you going, but motivation is why you start in the first place, and that to me is infinitely more valuable. That's why I think that motivation is just so much more important. Look at it this way, you're driving a car. Self-discipline is the act of driving. Motivation is the destination. Without motivation, you're just driving around in circles and eventually you run out of fuel. And you know why? Because you don't know where to go and it doesn't feel good. That's the harsh reality. So it all leads to here. If you want to find motivation that you actually sustain in the long term and that makes you not hate what you do every day, try this. First, you have to figure out what you're passionate about in life, what drives you, what gets you out of bed in the morning. And I don't mean I'm passionate about photography. I want more meaningful, more broader concepts. Like, I value creativity. I want to push my limits. I want to see what I can do. And then step 2, you're gonna take that and you're gonna repurpose the actions that you do. You need to weave in that motivation into your daily actions. So you're not just going to the gym, you're building strength so that you feel good in your body. You're not just studying, you're pushing the limits of your own knowledge to figure out what your mind can come up with. That's how you weave in motivation and you make it a daily habit. That's how you connect your daily habit to the big why. Then you build the habit. And I've already talked about this in my previous video, but now I'm gonna tell you how to make that habit easy. First, you can stack your habits. If there's already something that you do, like brushing your teeth in the morning, add in reading a book after you brush your teeth. Then you're gonna make it easy for yourself. So you're gonna take the book and you're gonna put it somewhere close to the bathroom, which sounds weird, but hear me out, so that you decrease the amount of friction and the amount of willpower necessary to get out and find that book on your shelf and open it. When you don't want to do it, it feels hard, so you're going to decrease that friction. And lastly, you're going to start small. Set small, achievable goals that actually feel good for you. Don't read for 30 minutes, read just 5 pages. Achieving this tiny goal is going to set momentum, and that's going to fuel your motivation even more. It's going to keep you going, literally. Because you feel like you've achieved everything already, right? And please be clear about your steps. The habit cycle goes like this: cue, routine, reward. So be clear about what your cue is, what ignites the habit. Be clear about what your routine is, what you do, exactly how you do it. And then be clear about the reward, which is how you reward yourself after that to make it feel even better. Okay, so that was kind of my brain dump about motivation. Like, that was a lot, but I do actually feel a lot lighter now that I've shared all of this with you. But yeah, don't try to raw dog discipline. I hope that my true feelings about discipline stick with you, and because YouTube pushes my videos to my subscribers first, I'm gonna tell you to subscribe so that we can meet again and actually get one more subscriber. Thank you!